Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So now we've mentioned five, or the five were mentioned in the book. There were five secondary uses of nida in the book. What we want to do now, we want to discuss a few more, or a couple more, which are not mentioned in the book, but they're quite useful. Okay? Right. One is ikhtisas. Now this is a bit of a nahwa masala, but it's good to know it because it comes in the Quran, it comes in the hadith, it is used. What happens now, if I say, we are a failure, who am I referring to? We. Who's we? Us lot, who us lot? Us the teachers, us the students, us the madrasa, us the students, us the sons. Who? You guys done well. You done well. Huh? Yeah, but like let's say a group of people. Who am I referring to? Sometimes a pronoun can be vague. A pronoun can be vague. You're not sure who is being meant. Okay. So what you do, you bring a nida after it. A harfun nida. And this nida that clarifies what is meant. Okay? So for example, okay? And this can come with ayyuha. Not ya ayyuha, this is ayyuha on its own. For example, look. It comes in the hadith, we do it in Salihin next year inshallah. That Ka'b ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, in his long story, said that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam instructed the Muslims that look, these three people, do not talk to them for certain reasons. You know the whole hikmah, the wisdom behind of all of this. We'll discuss it next year. You've done it already, probably in Sirah. No, you haven't done it yet. But you will do it next year, inshallah, in the hadith. Okay? So what happens here? We have a pronoun. So, Naha Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam al-Muslimin. The Prophet prohibited the believers from what? An kalamina. From speaking to us. Us who? Now in English it's very easy. In English what do you say? In English you say, us four. Us students. You can add a word after a pronoun. In Arabic structure, the pronoun is usually the last thing of that structure. Nothing comes after that. You can't say kalamina thalatha. There's no tarkeeb like that. So then how do you express us four? You don't have to express us, but how do you add the sifa of the pronoun kind of? Not sifa, you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, I get it. The clarification of that pronoun. How do you clarify that pronoun? In English, you say, us four. Okay, I give it. You students are working very hard. So you students are working very hard. So you is a pronoun. And to clarify the pronoun, what do we say? You students. Correct? But you can't say that. You can't say antum at-tullab. You have to say antum ayyuhat tullab. Go ahead.
When you say you know who you are.
Not always. Not always.
So you say you are working hard.
Let's say assembly. I say, mashallah, your threes worked well, not your twos. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to specify the pronoun. It's not always. Many times you don't need it. That's why it's not so common. You don't need every pronoun does not need clarification. But some pronouns do. You get what I'm trying to say? So that's why you have this. You understand? So where the pronoun is clarification, then you can't just bring us four, us students in Arabic. You have to say what? You have to bring the nida. Ayyuha thalatha. So this ayyuha thalatha is not calling out. Nobody's calling. How can you call it? It doesn't make sense. You understand? This is what it's called ikhtisas. Specifying who the pronoun is. Do you understand? And sometimes it comes without even a ya or even ayyuha. For example, the Prophet said in hadith, Inna la nurath. We are not inherited, meaning we do not leave inheritance. Who's we? Who, we what? We the Arabs, we the Ansar, we the Muhajirun, we the Muslims? No. Inna ma'shar al-anbiya. We the prophets. So again, that's why it's mansoob. Do you understand? Do you understand? So basically you say this is a nida. This is nida. This is munada. That's why it's mansoob. Do you understand? You understand? You sure you understand this part? I'm going to confuse you a bit now. That's what I'm saying. It can come without even the ayyuha, even without thing. You just say, for example, here, ya is mahzoof. Or ayyuha is mahzoof. Something is mahzoof.
Then how would you know?
From the context, because inna ma'shal, why you have inna, then ma'shal anbiya, how does that work? Why is that mansoob? So then you can know from the context, as I say, you have to familiarize yourself with the Arabic, and you know from here that this is ikhtisas. You following? So this is one way of interpreting. Another way of looking at it is that some people say that you don't. So for example, here it's fine. This is what? This is ikhtisas with the nida. Some people say here no. Some people say no. It's not ya is mahzoof. A khussu is mahzoof. I specialize, I specify. Obviously, they get mansoof for some reason, don't you? So they say the khussu is mahzoof here. So in some tafsir or some books of nahwa, you will find that they will say the ya is mahzoof. That makes it mansoof because it's munada. And some say it's maf'ul because the fa'il is mahzoof. Do you understand? So it's two different ways of interpreting it. Huh? Badal of a pronoun, I don't think you have badal pronoun. Do you understand? Yeah? Got it? Yeah? Moving on. Next one is istighatha. We didn't remember I mentioned last time istighatha for ya la bakrin. So yeah, so istighatha means what? And even that when you call somebody, not for the iqbal, not to bring their attention, but to seek their help. For example, there was a story in Sirah, something happened. So the one Muhajir, one Ansar, they had a bit of a dispute. So obviously Shaitan took advantage of the scenario, and what happened? The Ansari said what? Ya lal Ansar. Oh Ansar, come and help me. So he was not calling them that I want to say something to you. No, he's calling them for the help. Because normally when you have a nida, it will say, Ya Muhammad. And stop. What would you say? Why are you calling me? What Ya Muhammad? Do you understand? You get it? You must have a reason why you're calling me. But in nudba, if I say, Ya Muhammad, and I use Ya la Muhammad, Ya la Muhammadin, now automatically he knows what? That I want what? I want your help. There's no jawabun nida for that one. Do you understand? So he said, Ya lal Ansar. So straight away then understood that this is a nudba. You don't want attention, because normally nida here, Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu. Allah's drawing our attention. Oh, you who believe, what? Aqimus salah. But here, Ya lal Ansar, I'm just saying, Ya lal Ansar meaning, I need your help. This whole siga itself expresses this. Do you understand? And then the Muhajir said what? Ya lal Muhajirin. Do you understand? Again, he's seeking for help. So the nida can also be used for istighatha. Does that make sense? Following?
Ya, lam, and then the person you want.
Yeah. Okay, we discussed that refer back to the ta'jiz video. The video on ta'jiz. And there we discussed the nudba in it, nudba. Istighatha, the same thing. Okay. Tobiq. What does tobiq mean? That you already have the person's attention, but you're just calling them to kind of tell them off, scold them. For example here, in this, obviously when Maryam ﷺ, without being married, she came with a child, what did people say? Obviously, what did they have accusations against her? So now, straight away the assumption was she didn't zina. So now instead of saying Ya Maryam, what did they say? Ya ukhta Harun. Not Maryam, but you're a sister of Harun, and this is what you done? Do you understand? We did this before in the previous series. So Ya ukhta Harun. You understand? Do you get what I'm saying? Somebody say like, you're Maulana's Fulan's son. Are you studying that murder? What are you doing? So they attribute you to that, to do what? Tawbiq, tell you off even more. That you're such a high position and yet you're doing this. So Ya ukhta Harun, you're the sister of Harun, yet what are you doing? You done this according to their assumption, their accusation. You following? Another reason nida can be used to express ta'ajjub. That you got the attention already, it's like, Ya Allah, there's one ta'ajjub. Or, so for example here, كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب. Whenever Zakaria alayhi salatu wasalam went to Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam, she was in the niche performing a salah, he would find out of season fruits. So he was speaking to her, he had attention, but he wanted to express his amazement. Ya Maryam, anna laki hada. Oh Maryam, where is this coming from? So the whole sentence is for ta'ajjub. And this Ya Maryam again is for ta'ajjub as well. So that she's calling her not to get her attention, but it expresses amazement at her scenario, her position. Okay? And the last one I want to mention here is you call somebody for just to tease, jest, fun. Okay? When we came before, remember that story we did last time? Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu and Hazrat Fatima radiallahu anhu had a bit of an argument. Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu, he went to the masjid, he was sitting in the masjid, and the Prophet found out they had a little argument to defuse the situation. When he went to the masjid, he didn't take sides or say, oh, my daughter's right, you're wrong. He's trying to defuse the situation, make a joke out of it. What did he say? Hazrat Ali slept on the masjid floor. So what happened? A bit of salt in his thing. When he got up, the Prophet said, "Is this Ya Aba Turab? You're sleeping on the floor, Ya Aba Turab." So he called it Aba Turab. This is what? Jest, joke. Okay? For love. So For example, Ya Abati, Ya Abati, Ya Abati. Hazrat Ibrahim is conversing. Keep on saying Ya Abati. So once you say Ya Abati once, you got attention, you're speaking to him. But you keep on repeating what? Ya Abati, Ya Abati. Why? To show, oh my son. No, you write a letter, for example. Oh my son, don't do this. Oh my son, do this. Oh my son, this. Oh my son, that. Do you understand? You mention over and over again. Why? To get the person, to show your love and your affection towards that person. You following? Ya Bunay. Ya Bunayya. Hazrat Luqman is giving advice to his son. He can also say, Ya Bunayya, qimis salah. Ya Bunayya, in takum mithqala habbatin. So Ya Bunayya. Keep on saying it. Why? To show his affection. Allah can say, Ya Muhammad. But when the Prophet first got wahi, he went home and cuddled himself up in the blanket. Because Allah liked that. Allah said, Ya ayyuhal muzammil. Oh, one who's all cuddled up. So Allah is using that as according to some interpretation, that this is to show his love, affection, and to express that to that scenario, and to draw that memory back to him. So, Ya ayyuhal muzammil, Ya ayyuhal muddathir. Okay, and I told you one before as well. Huzaifa radiyallahu anhu, when it was very cold, and the Prophet wanted to send a spy across the trench in Battle of Khandaq. So Huzaifa radiyallahu was sleeping. So the Prophet called him Ya Nauman. So Naumun Fa'lan. So Ya Nauman, sleepy head basically. What we call sleepy head. So Ya Nauman, you go. So woke him up and said, you go. Do you understand? So all these things you can use one of these words to express a reason or purpose other than nida. So you call the person, but not to get his attention, but for one of these other purposes. Following? Good? Any questions? Yeah? Good. Yes. Subhanallah bihamdi subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.